So I just got back from like the third farewell that I had from my old job, the third and final, 2 months after I left my previous job. So a little bit late, but better late than never. And I was glad to do it today and just be done with it, because when you're still waiting to have your like farewell dinner or drinks or whatever it is, and you've already started your new job, kind of feels like this thing hanging over your head that you just want to get over with so that you can move on. But it was so nice to see my old team, catch up with everyone, and I think what was most interesting is just not a lot has changed since I left, and if anything, some things have really even gotten more complex. So I guess in a way it reassures me that I made the right choice. At the same time, it's not necessarily that things have been super easy and smooth sailing at the new place as well, but if I weigh the pros and cons of one versus the other, I'm definitely happier that I made the change, and I'm happier where I am now. And I think it was also a catalyst for, you know, a pivot that is taking place in my life right now. So yeah, I am wearing a sweatshirt, but I'm just like, you know, cozy. So that's why my hand is on my chest. What is new? So basically, last couple of days have been very hectic. Last week I got very sick. Last Wednesday, I had basically, yeah, very severe like pain in the body and just could not really function well for a couple of days. I'm now coming out of it on the other side, and well, on the other side of the illness, if you will, and I'm doing better, but not gonna lie, it was quite challenging. It's always weird because like our bodies are ours, but when they're not cooperating and when they're kind of rebelling against us, you feel a bit like you're stepped outside of yourself because you don't feel as in control. So that was really tough, and I got prescribed some medication, and I didn't realize how strong this medication was. It was so strong, it was basically like blocking some of the receptors that control digestion. So my digestion got like kind of messed up for a couple of days, and I had to stop taking the medicine even though I was still in pain, and just try to take something to regulate my stomach. And then after that, and things started like working again, I decided I'm not gonna take these pain killers anymore. So I'm just gonna go to the more natural stuff. So that's what I've been on for the last couple of days, and overall doing better. Do I wish it hadn't happened? Yeah, kind of, because it was a miserable couple of days for me, but at the same time, do I see why it happened? And why as in what would have caused it? Yes, one. And two, do I see what I have learned from the experience? Yes. So, you know me, as always, taking everything in stride, trying to learn from everything that I see and observe and experience, and figure out how to use that as something that can help me going forward, and help me to avoid certain things going forward as well. So overall, pretty good day. Can't complain. Definitely better than yesterday. Yesterday I was not in a great place, but today I'm in a much better place, so glad about that. I did get a few things as part of my like going away, so let me see if I can show those pretty quickly. Okay, so I got, well, it says it's a milk frother, but it's for me more so a milk warmer because I love to make oatmeal and I love coffee and things like that. And I use my kettle to heat water, but I typically have to boil the milk in a pot. So this is gonna be like pretty handy for me. So that's one. This book on every country in Africa, which is great. I really love it because, yeah, it's so cute and informative. And also I saw one of my other colleagues get this when they were leaving as a farewell a couple of months ago. And I was like, oh, this is the one that I need. So yeah, educational and cute. And also useful for work because this is my focus region. So yeah, that's the book. All right, then what else is in this bag? Oh, one other surprise. Wasn't expecting a bag, but here we are. And it's cute. So that's nice. So all in all, I got some pretty decent gifts for my farewell and a nice dinner tonight. So as I said, it was a good day. So I literally can't get over how cute this book is. This is like the whole map of the African continent, and there's a little intro in the book, and they also talk about the different sections like Southern Africa, East, West, Central Africa, and North Africa. And it tells you a bit about the region, which is nice. And then a little bit about each country. So let's see, just trying to pick one as an example. They're all really great and the illustrations are so colorful. I really like it a lot. Let's do Kenya because I was there in March of this year. So this is a really great illustration. Basically, it's like the national park, Nairobi National Park in the capital, but it used to be probably a larger park and a lot more nature. And they started, like, as they built the city of Nairobi, encroaching more and more on the park. So what you see here probably seems a bit like odd, like there are giraffes and foliage, but also buildings in the background, but that's exactly how it looks when you go into that national park. I think when I posted the Kenya safari video that we did at 6 a.m. when I was on a work trip, there's one particular video where we're in the middle of the national park looking for like wild animals just to view and observe them. And a plane flies over, but at a very low altitude because the airport is also right there. And it was just this weird sort of intersection of nature and humans and the city. So anyway, what it says is Kenya is famous for its lions, elephants, giraffes, zebras, rhinoceroses, and hippopotamuses. But its city life is as wild and wonderful as its wildlife. In the crowded streets of the capital, Nairobi, people of African, Indian, Chinese, Arabic, and European descent hustle and bustle in and out of shopping malls, jumping on and off the colorful buses, chatting into their phones, or doing their online banking. Nairobi is right on the edge of Nairobi National Park. Only a powerful electric fence stops the animals from roaming into the city streets. The giraffes in the park have a good view of the skyscrapers downtown. And in the city, you really can see giraffes on the horizon. And yeah, indeed, as I said, the national park is like right smack dab in the middle of the city, or the city is right smack dab in the middle of the national park, depending on which came first from your perspective. But really, such a great book. I'm really looking forward to kind of like going through it bit by bit and just seeing all the different places. So for instance, I also went to Tanzania back in, I think that was 2018? Yeah. Well, there you go. By the time I get to the end of the book, I will solve all these mysteries of things that I don't yet know how to pronounce, or places that I haven't been. And yeah, because I didn't go to Zanzibar, although I heard that it's really nice there. So maybe my next time. Let me see what else is in here. I'm just looking for the countries that I've been to in Africa. It won't take long because I haven't been to as many as I would like. Zambia, I was there in 2019. All right, let's see. South Africa, also been there. South Africa is called the Rainbow Nation because of its mix of white and black and Asian people. Once there was a terrible conflict between the groups when some of the white people decided they were better than anyone else and kept jobs, land, and education just for themselves. Okay, shots fired. Other people, like Nelson Mandela, fought for everybody to be considered equal. Now the battle is over, and South Africans are working together for peace. It is one of Africa's most modern countries. There are big cities like Johannesburg and Cape Town, with football stadiums, shopping malls, mansions, and ghettos, where all sorts of different people live and work and play. Nelson Mandela was the first Black South African president. During the conflict, he was kept in prison for 27 years. He was told that he would only be freed if he stopped fighting for equality for all of South Africans. He always refused. There are lots of car factories in South Africa: BMW, Chrysler, Fiat, Ford, General Motors, Mercedes-Benz, Nissan, Toyota, and Volkswagen, and it has its own car makes too, like Advanced Automotive Design, Bailey Cars, Birkin Cars, and Piranha Cars. Pretty cool, actually. But I really like it a lot. And yeah, I'm gonna find somewhere to put it on display. This is one of my favorite gifts, you can say. I am pretty sure my family is from West Africa. I just don't know which country specifically. I was gonna do one of the 23andMe tests, and I took the test, I sent it back. I waited like a month or 2 months, and then they wrote back to me and said, hey, we're having trouble analyzing your sample, we're gonna try again. Then they wrote back to me and said, hey, we can't get anything from your sample, you're gonna have to do it again. I was so frustrated, I was just like, never mind. Because I literally followed the instructions to a T, and I was waiting so patiently because I was like, tell me where I'm from. Like, I know where I'm from. Like, I was born in the States, but my family migrated there from Guyana in South America. But how did we get to Guyana? That's what I wanted to know. So I was disappointed to not find out, but I'm one of those people who kind of looks at things like, you know, it is what it is. Things happen for a reason sometimes. And I just told them, you know what, let's not bother to take another sample. Maybe I'm not meant to know right now or through this medium. So I might try again, and maybe I'll use the Ancestry.com one because maybe it'll have a better success rate. That's enough for now. But this is the book. This is the back of the book. It's called Amazing Africa, Country by Country. Really great book. All right, that's all for now.